hello and welcome for anybody who's tuning in and thinking, what the goodness? Hello and welcome to a very special episode of The Worthy Podcast with me, Sandra Chuma. Today I'm sharing some really important questions to ask yourself, some important questions that inspired me to make some really big decisions in my life recently. So big that I literally packed up my apartment, packed up my life, and am on the road. And so for the next however many, I don't know, who knows how long episodes, it's going to be a very different look than what you might be used to if you're a regular watcher of this, and also a regular listener if you're someone who really is into audio, because my audio is going to be a little bit different. Right now, as I'm recording this, I am literally sailing down the Nile River. I'm on a boat cruise, a 5-day boat cruise down the Nile River. I spent today at so many temples in Luxor. I'm actually in Luxor, so we're sailing down the Nile from Luxor, and it's just the most epic experience. And I wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to share actually three really important questions, that we all should be asking ourselves on a regular basis. And I can tell you that these are three questions that I've really been asking myself recently that inspired me to make huge changes in my life. Before we get started, I want to tell you a couple of things. First of all, if you enjoy listening to this episode, if you find this of value, please share it. Please share it with others that you think might find value from it. And also, please subscribe. It really helps the algorithm, helps me, and I would be so grateful if you could subscribe. And also, if you could leave a review so that other people know exactly what it is that you enjoy about this podcast. The second thing that I want to let you know is that applications are now open for the Worthy Mastermind. What is the Worthy Mastermind, you ask? If you're ready to make 2023 your best year yet, then I'd love for you to consider joining me in the Worthy Mastermind. It's 90 days where we're going to go deep into how to create an intentional life and how to create an intentional life that leads to you creating your most extraordinary life. So it'll be starting in January 2023. And over the course of 90 days, we're going to go deep into so many principles, so many things that have helped me create my best life. And I'm going to be doing it right along with you. Really, I'm so pumped for 2023. I truly believe it's going to be my best year. I've already started to set intentions for what I want 2023 to look like for me. And I'd love to be part of your journey to creating your most extraordinary year in 2023. So if you want more information on that, just head over to theworthymastermind.com. So theworthymastermind.com. And it is by application. I'm keeping this to a really small group of people because I want it to be very intimate, very focused. I really also want to make sure that I'm bringing together the right group of people because it's all about synergy in a mastermind. And so if you are interested in making 2023 your best year yet, theworthymastermind.com. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So theworthymastermind.com. All right. So back to why I literally in the background, you can see it there, have the Nile River. I'm on the Nile River and I'm floating down the Nile River. Well, so many things have happened, especially over the last year, but I also think for all of us, life has just been so different over the last 3 years. And one of the things that it inspired me to do was to really start to question whether I was truly living. Now, for a while now, I've been asking myself 3 questions. And these were 3 questions that actually I was inspired by Brendon Burchard to ask myself. Brendon Burchard has these 3 questions that he says we should all ask ourselves every single day. The first question is, did I live? Second question, did I love? And for him, the third question is, did I matter? And I read his book several years ago, and I think I might have also heard it on his podcast where he was talking about those 3 questions. And it really resonated with me. But to be quite honest, it was one of those things that I actually even had a sign made that sat on, if you've watched my podcast for a while, you've seen the sign in my background that said, did I live, did I love, did I matter? But it's only really truly been in the last 3 years, and then I think more recently in the last year, that I've really been asking myself those 3 questions. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? But the last one, and I'll get to that in a moment, just didn't feel comfortable for me. So I changed it. So what are the 3 questions that I ask myself? Did I live? For so long, I was living. Of course, if you've got air in your lungs, you wake up every day, you're alive, you're grateful that you're alive. But a question that I've really been asking myself, and more recently especially, is, did I really live? Like really live? Or did I exist? And I think that so many people, and for so long I was one of those people, were just existing, getting through day by day. Every day was the same as the next day and the next day and the next day. And slowly, I started to lose excitement for life. Like everything was shades of gray, no pun intended. And I asked myself the question, what would it take for me to live a life where I woke up and was genuinely excited to wake up, to experience the day, to meet the day? And I realized that for a lot of time now, I really wasn't that excited. Days were kind of, they were nice. They were okay. They were kind of B plus days. But there were so few A days, so few A plus days. And I wanted more, and I want more A plus days. Like I realized that life is going past me, that literally every single day I'm a day older. Every single day I'm a day closer to not being on this planet, to dying. Breaking news for anybody who's surprised by that, we're all going to die. And I felt like, am I really living? Am I living with passion? Am I living with excitement? And so those are questions that more recently I've been asking myself regularly, every single day. Did I live? Today, did I live? What did I do that mattered today? And I also realized as well that there were weeks that would go by where at the end of the week, I couldn't remember what I'd done. It was just all a big blur. And I thought, isn't that sad that I'm not being intentional? I'm not being intentional about creating the moments that are memories. Because when you think about it, at its simplest, life is all about either lessons that we're learning or memories that we're creating. And I realized that there weren't a lot of memories that I was creating intentionally. And that's what I want more of. So the first question to ask yourself is, did I live today? Did I truly live? Like, did I live with urgency? The second question, did I love? Did I love? And it doesn't mean just romantic love in the sense of a relationship, but it can be any sort of love. Did I love my friends? Did I love my family? Did I feel love? Did I feel love? Did I feel loved? And so that was something that for me was important too, was to ask myself every single day, at the end of every single day, did I love? The third question was, the way that Brendan Bashad had it was, did I matter? But that just didn't resonate with me. And so for me, I changed it to, did I make a difference? Did I make a difference? Because I truly believe that we're all here to make a difference. We all have the ability to make a difference. We have the ability to make a difference in one person's life. Like every single day, sometimes I think we think that making a difference is, being on a world stage and doing grand things. But sometimes it's just a simple gesture, a smile to somebody, or holding a door open for somebody, because for them, that might be the difference that they need in their day. And so did I make a difference? And also for me, it was really challenging myself in terms of what's the legacy that I'm leaving behind? What am I creating that will be remembered or that will make a difference in people's lives? And so that's a question that I've been asking myself more and more often, and especially as I'm building the Worthy brand, is what is the legacy that I want to live? What is the difference that I want to make in people's lives? And so how did that all inspire me to end up with the Nile River floating by in my background? Well, the question of did I live really was the one that prompted me to want to go on more adventures. As I created my goal list at the beginning of this year, what I realized is in the past, I used to have a lot of stuff goals. I wanted the car and the house and the money and don't get me wrong, I still want all of those things. What I realized that I want more of in my life is experiences. And what's been interesting for me is I always have a word. Every year I pick a word. And funnily enough, last year, the word for 2022 came to me in about this time frame, in about the November time frame, where it suddenly came to my mind what my word was. And my word for 2022 was courage. And boy, oh boy, has this year been a year where I've been called into courage. And to be quite honest, when that word came to me a year ago, I didn't want it because I knew exactly what it meant. It meant that for me to live the word courage, I would have to put myself in positions that required me to step into things that made me scared, things that were beyond what I thought were my comfort zones. And that's exactly what's happened this year. And for me, the word that came up that is probably, I'll have to contemplate a little bit, but likely my 2023 year word, it's actually two words, is 2023 is my year of magical experiences. And so with that said, what I decided, and funnily enough, my husband was thinking the same at the same time, was that I wanted to really live, to really experience the world, to go out there and see the world. And I think it was also in part prompted by the fact that, we'd been locked down for so long and not been able to travel. And to be quite honest, for a long time, I took travel for granted. I was someone who was always traveling. And so for me, sometimes travel had become an annoyance, like, oh, I wish I didn't have to travel. And I can tell you that, setting out on this trip, I am so grateful for the opportunity to travel, for the opportunity to see new places. This is my first time in Egypt, for the opportunity to meet people that I've never met before, to have magical experiences. And so that's what really inspired me. And we're going to be traveling to other places, other countries, is that I want to live. I want to live with urgency because I realize that no matter how long I have, touch wood, I hope I have a long life. But no matter how long we all have, life is short. And so I want to ask you to ask yourself at the end of every single day, did I live? Did I truly live? Did I love? Did I make a difference? Thanks so much for joining me here on the Nile River as I'm cruising down the Nile River. And I'm going to be bringing you lots more episodes as I'm on the road, as I'm reflecting, as I'm learning things, as I'm having new experiences. And I want to invite you along. So remember to subscribe and remember to please leave a review. I would be so grateful. And a reminder as well that I am opening applications for you to join me for a 90-day absolutely incredible mastermind. I'm really putting a lot of thought into what we'll cover in the 90 days of the Worthy Mastermind, where together we will make 2023 our most extraordinary year. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Sandra Chuma. And as always, I want to remind you, you are worthy. You are worthy to be. You are worthy to do. You are worthy to have anything and everything your heart desires.